Wake up, wake up, wake up. It's the Flow Show, no filter. Back with another crazy episode. The news is taking off at the thoughts, views, and opinions shared on the Flow Show, no filter are for educational and entertainment purposes only. I am not a professional. I am just good.
Yeah, it's the Flow Show. No filter. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in. Yeah, it's the Flow Show. No filter. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in. Yeah, it's the Flow Show. No filter. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in. Yeah, it's the Flow Show. No filter. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. It's the Flow Show, baby. Giving you these thoughts, views, and opinions, making sure backsides covered, no diddy. Shout out to the Wake and Bakers and the Coffee Crew. From YouTube to Spotify, I love all my subscribers. Can't forget about the trolls in the comments. Thank you for putting extra eyes on the content. Yeah, it's the Flow Show. No filter. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in. Yeah, it's the Flow Show. No filter. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in. Yeah, it's the Flow Show. No filter. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in. Yeah, it's the Flow Show. No filter. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in.
What's up, Flow Show Filter fam? We got everybody in here so far. Come on in, come on in. I see Island Girl, Grandma Kathy, see Tuck, Mickey, Tabitha, Renee. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How's everybody feeling this Thursday? Thursday. Almost Friday. Glad that Cleveland is warming the hell up. Shit. We finally. Tasha Turner, what's up? Miss Royal, what's up? Michelle, Grand Rising, what's up? We finally got an arrest. We finally got an arrest. We finally got an arrest in the Epstein crap. Let's call it crap. We finally got an arrest. I'm sure y'all saw it. But the crazy thing is, of course, it's an arrest overseas. Ain't nobody over here, ain't nobody in America did shit yet. And that is what we're trying to figure out. What are they waiting on? But we're going to talk about that. The Nancy Guthrie case is just getting more and more bizarre by the day. I don't know what to say about that situation. But we're going to talk about that. And we'll talk about some of the other people that have been held accountable. Unfortunately, none of them here where we at in the United States of America. So I don't know what the hell our country is doing, but I know what they ain't doing, and that's arresting and holding people accountable for the Epstein junk. But, ha 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 ha, we do have an arrest. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me and see me. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me and see me before we get started. Good, good, good. Look like everybody can see me. I heard about this arrest in the middle of the night. I was hoping it was an arrest from somebody over here. What's up, Tanya? Tanya, what's up? Angelique, what's up? What cities we got in here with us today? I'm Cleveland, so I'm gonna say Cleveland, Cleveland definitely in the house. What other cities we got in here? Y'all know I represent Cleveland. What other cities we got in here today? As we talk about this crazy Epstein and Nancy and just so much going on, y'all. We got Flint, Michigan in the building. Okay, Cleveland. Look at Cleveland. Another Cleveland, my home city. Okay, Cleveland, Maryland, Austin, Texas, Seattle. We got the UK. Got my PR people in here. Yes, yes, yes. What's up, Johnny Gonzalez? Buffalo, New York. Okay, Buffalo. Malibu. Homewood, Illinois. Rosebud, Missouri. Okay, roll call. We all over the place. Glad to see y'all here Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. The Flow Show, no filter. So let's get started, man. So apparently we finally have an arrest. New Jersey, what's up? We finally have an arrest. It took us, what, 3 or 4 million documents later, few years later, victims making videos, standing together in unity, calling out the abusers or suspected abusers. And finally, after all that, we got an arrest, and let's talk about it. Now, this is from TMZ. Former Prince Andrew arrested after release of Epstein files. Former Prince Andrew, y'all been talking about Prince Andrew this entire time. Every time we talk about the Epstein files, someone in the chat, I can't remember who it is, it's different people, but they always have brought up the Prince Andrew or former Prince Andrew. I don't know which one of y'all always brought him up, but y'all definitely, every time I would talk about Epstein, it would be people in my comments mentioning Prince Andrew and whatever he was caught up in. Happy birthday, Johnny Gonzalez. Everybody wish a happy birthday to Johnny Gonzalez all the way out there in PR. Now, article says former Prince Andrew arrested by British police amid Epstein ties. Former Prince Andrew is under arrest by police in England following the news of his longtime friendship with convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein. The disgraced ex-royal, who now goes by the name Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, was apprehended by Thames Valley Police on suspicion of misconduct in a public office at his home today, which would have been yesterday, his 66th birthday. They arrested his ass on his birthday. They said, happy birthday. Hey, Johnny Gonzalez, your birthday is already better than the former Prince Andrew's birthday. So let's hope you already doing a little bit better than him. His ass got arrested on his birthday. They came and got him on his 66th birthday. What a birthday. The arrest comes a couple weeks after an anti-royal organization asked authorities to investigate whether Andrew shared confidential info with Epstein. So they called for an investigation, and next thing you know, happy birthday, arrest you. Happy birthday, arrest you. So they arrested him on his birthday. The police department issued a press release saying a man in his 60s was arrested on suspicion of misconduct in a public office, and that officers are currently searching 2 addresses in Berkshire and Norfolk, which are located in the eastern part of England. The release noted police will not be naming the arrested man as per national guidance. As you know, Andrew had close ties with Epstein over the years while the notorious pedophile was allegedly sexually abusing underage girls. Andrew's name is all over the Epstein files, which were released by the Department of Justice after President Trump signed a bill requiring them to be made public. I told y'all, we've been hearing about his name. Every time we talk about the Epstein files, I would see people in the comments say, what about Prince Andrew? What about Prince Andrew? And I have to say, whoever that was, and whoever, it was multiple people, but whoever was saying that in the comments, y'all were dead on. And I'm getting word from the comments that the police are still searching his property. Sheesh. Andrew's close ties with Epstein are what did him in. In the Epstein files, Andrew is pictured kneeling over an unidentified woman sprawled out on the floor, touching her stomach over her shirt. Last October, Andrew was stripped of his royal titles due to his association with Epstein. So this Epstein shit has been a more than a thorn in his side, but definitely have been bringing him down. Well, he brought himself down, but you know what I mean. Like his tie to Epstein is definitely something I'm sure the former prince wish he could take back. But you're playing dirt, you get dirty. Playing the mud, you get muddy. In 2019, Epstein died from apparent suicide, and that's all she wrote. as far as what they saying. You know, a lot of people believe Epstein is chilling somewhere, watching all this go unfold. So Prince Andrew has been taken in to custody. Properties being searched. But what I want to know is, what names is he going to give up? What names? Now the police raided the Royal Lodge and Sandringham. Sorry for my mispronouncing that. After suspicion of misconduct in public office over claims Prince Andrew shared the documents. Now the raid, as you can see, this is the police. I'm showing everybody at home. Police pulled up outside. Happy birthday. We got a gift for you. A shiny new pair of handcuffs. But what names is he going to give up? He got busted through emails that were put out in the Epstein files. We have a quote from King Charles. He says, "Law must take its course." He ain't feeling sorry for him. He ain't feeling sorry for him, y'all. Prince Andrews is going to argue that he's just networking, I bet. Networking my ass. I know that he thought he was probably never going to get arrested. Imagine being a prince. Imagine being a prince. Feeling like you're untouchable. Ex-Prince, this is the New York Post even reporting it. Ex-Prince Andrew arrested on his birthday over Epstein allegations. Disgraced ex-Prince Andrew was arrested Thursday on suspicion of misconduct in a public office. Andrew, who is still 8th in line for the throne, faces a maximum sentence of life in prison if convicted. So this mofo is facing life. Here's the shady little picture. As you see, they're covering up the face. But what the hell was Prince Andrew doing? And for those listening to this on audio, I'm showing the picture. You can look it up yourself, but it's a picture of Andrew, the former Prince Andrew, sprawled over a young woman. They have something covering her face, obviously, and he looks like he's up to no good. One officer was seen carrying a police-issued laptop after arriving around 8 a.m. with the cars leaving around 30 minutes later. Police also searched a separate property in Berkshire, Reportedly, that's his former home. Andrew remains in custody even as we speak right now. He remains in custody. King Charles III expressed his deepest concern at the arrest while vowing his full and wholehearted support for investigators. Let me be clear. The law must take its course, the king said. The royal family was not told in advance that Andrew would be arrested. The Queen is continuing with today's engagements in central London. Prince William and Kate Middleton support the King's statement, according to the outlet. UK Prime Minister said Thursday that nobody is above the law when quizzed about Andrew's voluntary speaking with the cops. I think that's a matter for the police, he said. They will conduct their own investigations, but one of the core principles in our system is everybody is equal under the law and nobody is above the law. It's a very important principle of our country, and it has to apply in this case in the same way it would in any other case. Andrew's arrest also comes after a slew of UK police forces said they were investigating evidence with the trove of Department of Justice released files. A total of 87 flights linked to Epstein arrived or departed from UK airports from the early 1990s to 2018. Andrew was initially investigated over long-running claims by Epstein victim Virginia. We all know about Virginia. Her unaliving is a mystery. I don't think she did it to herself. That's just my opinion. And we know Virginia started around 17 years old on orders from Epstein and his madam, Ghislaine Maxwell. Prince Andrew was never charged when all this was going on. He vehemently denied any wrongdoing. However, he paid millions of pounds to Virginia in a civil settlement while continuing to deny wrongdoing. He also lost his royal duties and titles over the scandal of his close friendship with Epstein and Maxwell. Andrew has been repeatedly urged to testify about his links to Epstein in front of a congressional committee. Prince Andrew. Former Prince Andrew. What the hell you done got yourself into? I don't know, but Tabitha said if they can arrest, this is Tabitha in the chat, says if they can arrest a prince, we can arrest a president. Good morning, Black Roses. Glad to see you in here for this one. This is a wild one. We finally have an arrest. We finally have an arrest. And with him facing life, he basically, I know he's going to start singing. Now, this is a question I have. Would it do him any good to name any of the American people that have been caught up in it? Would he get any type of leniency for that? I have to look that up. By him being arrested overseas. And if anybody in the chat knows that offhand, would the former Prince Andrew be granted any type of leniency or anything if he snitches or tells about what's going on over here? Because for some reason, I think he's about to start talking. And to be honest, if he knows what I think he knows, he might not make it to trial. If the former Prince Andrew knows as much as I would think he knows by being a prince and being around Epstein and having such close ties with him, I'm thinking his ass might not make it, y'all. His ass might be grass. Somebody just said he would be Epstein. I agree. Yeah, rest in peace, Virginia. Damn. This Epstein shit, y'all. Yeah, okay, so Tinkle. So this is my question though. By it being, and maybe you know, maybe that's the case. So of course they get special treatment, but what I'm saying is if they if if he's talking about, let's say if he talks about, let's just say Jay-Z. I don't even know if that would be relevant, but let's just say Jay-Z. If he talks, if former Prince Andrew snitches on Jay-Z and says he did some stuff with Epstein. Now, by Jay-Z being under American law and former Prince Andrew being arrested under overseas laws, would the overseas law give him any special treatment by him telling on Americans? That's my question. I don't know if anybody can answer that. I'll have to look that up after the show. But that's something that, as we talking about it now, I'm wondering, like, if he talks. Okay, so Island doesn't know either. Okay, so Island Girl says former Prince Andrew does know a lot of things, but I don't know if him snitching on any Americans would do any good. Yeah, I don't think if I was just to guess, I don't think it would do him any good. But I don't want to guess. I want to get a for sure. Where's my cup at? I want to know for sure, so I'll find out. Portia says, Flo, you guys need to watch the BBC interview. The former Prince Andrew did we need to watch the BBC interview that the former Prince Andrew did about Epstein. It's sickening. Lie after lie. I think he'll get made an example of. Okay, we got to check that out, Portia. Thanks for bringing that to our attention. Now that's what I was thinking too. Now that makes sense too, Tinkle. That's why I asked the question, because I do know that governments work together, and so I'm wondering if they can work together on this. Seems like they may be able to. We will see. But that was basically what I was wondering. I'm like, I know the government works. They normally work together. But I'm like, would they work together on this? I mean, can they work together on this? Because let's say that he actually makes it to trial and they don't unalive him, or he don't unalive himself. I'm talking about Prince, the former Prince. What and who he could tell on everybody. I'm sure by him being a prince and him having such close ties to Prince Andrew, I'm pretty sure he knows a whole lot of names. He knows a whole lot of names. And if he's looking at life in prison, his ass will definitely tell if that can shorten his time. Because he's looking at a serious case. Anytime You looking at life in prison? Anytime you're looking at life in prison, that's a serious ass case. So as far as the question, can he be granted or get some type of special treatment? So we're trying to see if former Prince Andrew, can former Prince Andrew get time shaved off for even though his case is overseas? So let's see, y'all. Portia said he said Virginia was lying because she said he was nasty and sweaty. His excuse for that being a lie was he had a thing or disorder where he couldn't physically sweat at the time she accused him. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Are you serious? Oh man. So if Prince Andrew, if the former prince, I'm asking AI, y'all. So if former Prince Andrew, let's see. So it says here, this is the answer, y'all. They say it could if he snitches on Americans, they say AI is saying it could only help him a little, and that's only if UK prosecutors think the cooperation actually helps their case, and any benefit will come from the UK legal system, not the US. It says here the key point is that his case is in the UK. If he's being investigated or charged in Britain, then only UK prosecutors and judges decide whether cooperation helps him. Providing information about Americans matters only if it advances the UK investigation. If what he provides doesn't help UK authorities prove crimes or pursue other offenders, it likely won't affect his outcome. Under UK law, cooperation can influence charging decisions, lead to reduced charges, also result in lighter sentences. Cooperation with the U.S., like I said, if he provides information to U.S. authorities, for example, about people connected to Jeffrey Epstein, the U.S. cannot reduce a UK sentence. Of course, we know that. However, U.S. authorities could share his cooperation with UK prosecutors. So at the end of the day, only way it helps him is if he's snitching on something that helps the UK case. So unfortunately, I don't think too many Americans have too much to worry about. I wish he could snitch on some of these Americans, but Hey, it is what it is. But like Miss Sweet Tooth said, I bet he's sweating buckets right now. I bet you his disorder or whatever is healed, and he's sweating his ass off right now. Mickey said Andrew be looking like Waltz lately. He knew his arrest was coming. Yeah, they probably already told him. And Denise said that excuse was that. Hey, look, that excuse was debunked. The sweating, this excuse was debunked. Ain't no sweat. So, for a quick second, let's take a look at other people, and we'll get back into Andrew. We'll get back into Prince Andrew, but let's look at the other people who have been held accountable. And it's a shame it's all overseas. So we got Andrew has been arrested. We got Thorburn Jagland. He's been criminally charged. Mr. Jagland, a former prime minister of Norway, was charged with gross corruption in connection with his ties to Mr. Epstein. Mr. Jagland and Mr. Epstein emailed frequently, says here. Mona Jewel resigned after being suspended. She's Norway's Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Norway's Ministry of Foreign Affairs announced Ms. Jewel's resignation on February 8th. Jack Lane, who once served as France's culture minister, announced on February 7th that he will be resigning. Peter Mandelson was fired from being a British ambassador. All of this is from the Epstein files. Mr. McSweeney, former chief of staff to Prime Minister, resigned after a lot of pressure. Why is it that all this can happen overseas, but we sit around Americans and ain't shit happening? Well, y'all tell me that. Dr. Letty Moss, Columbia University said it was stripping Dr. Moss of her title as vice dean because of Epstein. She did some stuff for Mr. Epstein's girlfriend, which got her in trouble. Dr. Thomas Magnani, Columbia University cut all ties with Dr. Magnani. He was formerly Epstein's dentist. After documents revealed he was the point person to secure Mr. Epstein's girlfriend's admission to the College of Dental Medicine. So he hooked up Epstein's girlfriend to get in dentist school, I guess, and not his ass grass. Mr. Ross, David A. Ross, resigned from his position. Longtime luminary in the contemporary art world, his ass resigned. Larry Summers, a former Harvard president and secretary of the Treasury in the Clinton administration, said he would step back from some of his public commitments. After new emails showed he had stayed in touch with Mr. Epstein for years after Epstein faced sex trafficking charges. He is currently on leave from Harvard as they investigate. Larry Summers, y'all. Remember that name. Thomas Pritzker, Casey Wasserman. Mr. Wasserman, the chairman of 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles, said on February 13th that he was starting the process of selling his talent agency. The announcement followed a wave of defections from dozens of musicians and performers from the agency after flirtatious emails he sent years ago to Ghislaine Maxwell became public. Casey Wasserman. And I'll go back to Thomas Pritzker. He is a billionaire heir to the Hyatt Hotel's fortune, stepped down from his role on February 16th. Stepped down from his role from the Hyatt Hotel. James Staley. Mr. Staley stepped down in 2021 as the chief executive of Barclays after allegations involving his ties with Mr. Epstein became public. Leon Black. In early 2021, Mr. Black stepped down from all of his leadership roles at the Apollo Global Management. A lot of names, but I'm looking for some arrests. A lot of fallout. Johnny Goddard said they running for the hill. I like what Fire Glory just said. She says because the criminals, all the criminals that are in the Epstein files, are the ones running the government in the USA. That's why. The emails, I can't even read all the emails, man. They just disgust me. The emails are flat out disgusting. And I don't know what the hell to say about it. You know, we our country has just been, I mean, and I'm saying our country because this is overseas, but just our world appears to be ran by a bunch of freaky bastards. And we need to change that. Who would have ever thought all this shit was going on, man? I mean, what is the significance of elites and pedophilia? Why is it? This needs to be studied. Why is so much? Why are the elites and the people in power? What is their infatuation with this young pedophile stuff? Why does it seem like everywhere we look, when we talk about elites or we talk about people in power, why does so many of them engage in this young people stuff? I don't get it. From the music industry to the movie industry to politicians, everywhere you turn where we see money and power, why do I really don't understand it. Like, think of like look at all of it. Like, so it gets to the point where then you sit back and just think about all of the people who are letting this, all of the people that are just, all of the celebrities, all of the politicians, even the ones who aren't engaging in this crap, they still sitting by and not saying nothing, which makes them just as bad. And I would have never thought that our country was literally ran by majority freaks. I would have thought the majority was ran by good people. But the higher you get up on that pyramid, the higher you get up on that pyramid, seems like the freakier things become. It's baffling. Like, is let's say, like, I will use the Clintons, for example. Now, I know their names been mentioned. I don't know what Bill and Hillary Clinton have done, haven't done. You know, we just waiting for everybody to be held accountable. But if Hillary and Bill Clinton did something, then their ass need to go to jail too. But even if they didn't do anything, why hadn't they said or did anything about it? And not just the Clintons, anybody. It's like everybody just sat by, buried their head into the sand, and said, it ain't my problem. It's your problem. And anybody, that's why I say, whether you're a Republican, whether you're a Democrat, independent, why has nobody said anything all this time? When you hear all of these emails and see how many people were involved, it's like everybody was involved. This wasn't no four-man crew, rat pack, take this to the grave. This is just something that we doing in our own world. This is something that the whole industry knew about. And many people, from Naomi Kemp, they all phony. Remember, before we got these emails, we heard rumors and conspiracy theories about everybody who was involved, all the people that were involved, but we didn't have any evidence. And if you remember, people like Naomi Campbell, just everybody. I'm drawing a blank. There's so many people. But let's just say Naomi Campbell, people like her, they all said they didn't know anything. They didn't have much. They didn't do much with Epstein. They basically made it like they didn't know much about him. They were innocent. They didn't know of anything he was doing. Then we come to find out y'all was emailing him all day long. What do you mean you didn't know what was going on? You emailed him all day long. Y'all were borrowing his planes. Y'all were flying in left and right. Anybody that went to his island multiple times and said they don't know anything is a bold-faced lie. And the truth ain't in you. Again, nobody said a word. All of these celebrities, I'm even talking about Ellen, Oprah, just so many people, and they claimed for years like they care so much, man. It reminds me of Diddy. That's why Diddy ain't the only one. Diddy just the most recent big arrest we got, but in my opinion, pretty much all of them celebrities are phony like that. They act like they give a fuck. They act like they care. But at the end of the day, all they care about is being rich and famous. That's all they really care about. All they care about is being rich and famous. We hear every day, every time we read through these emails, we seeing another celebrity who knew exactly what the fuck was going on and who was very close for Epstein. And with the dead giveaway, is that these celebrities were emailing and communicating and inviting Epstein to all the prestigious events, even after he was charged and all these weird allegations came down with him and young people. They continue to ask to borrow his plane. They continue to invite him to prestigious events and tell him how great of a man he was. Meanwhile, at this exact same time of them sending these emails to Epstein and inviting him here and treating him like royalty, at the same time, they're telling us, at that moment, they were telling us they didn't know shit about Epstein. And they didn't speak up at all. We'll see what comes out of this Andrew thing, but man, I'm waiting to see some more activity here on American soil. I want to see some fucking accountability right here in our backyard. And what, before we get out of here, what exactly is going on with Nancy Guthrie, man? Still not resolved. For some reason, the authorities are looking for video that could have been taped over.
Nancy Guthrie continues as authorities now release new developments. According to data on Google Trends, one internet user appears to have searched for both Nancy Guthrie's address and Savannah Guthrie's salary in the weeks prior to that disappearance. Now, meanwhile, genetic genealogy that has been used to catch notorious killers is now being used to try and track down Nancy Guthrie's suspected kidnappers. And according to new reports, the FBI has now contacted Mexican authorities regarding the case. And now, following an anonymous donation, the reward for information leading to Nancy Guthrie or her possible kidnapper is now $200,000. Here with more.
So they now know at least one user searched Nancy Guthrie's address and Savannah Guthrie's salary weeks before Nancy was kidnapped. What? I mean, on the surface, that person has to be fucking guilty. Who would search? Who would just happen to search Savannah's salary and Nancy Guthrie's address, and then only that one person searched both, and then mysteriously she's kidnapped a little more than a week later? Grandma Kathy says her family being hoodwinked. I don't know.
Host of Crime Stories on Fox 1, Nancy Grace. Nancy, okay, an internet user, to be clear, looking for Nancy Guthrie's home address and Savannah Guthrie's salary. And by the way, TMZ got another ransom note they described as highly sophisticated, wanting another form of cryptocurrency payment. Your take on all of this? I think the internet search is kind of blockbuster.
I agree, Sean. And if you look at the dates of the internet searches, they go all the way back to June 21, June 28, 2025, and significantly on January 11, 2026. That's just before the days before her kidnapping.
And we did get another ransom note. I'm sure y'all heard that. Another ransom note. They said this one is more aggressive, and it went to TMZ again. But I don't know, y'all. This is just, I don't know. But I believe whoever looked up this information, I believe they getting close to what's going on. I don't know. What if this was some sort of inside job? Meaning like some a family member who's mad, or some, not even a family, but somebody close to the family who was just desperate for money or something. Like it's almost seeming like I don't know. It's just seeming so weird that I feel like this is somebody connected. This isn't a random stranger. I don't think. I believe this is something connected to the family, because it's just too weird. Something ain't right. Mark my words. Whenever this is exposed, it's gonna be somebody that's close to the family or something. Somebody had an inside, y'all. We're gonna have to continue to dive into this shit on the Flow Show No Filter. Check me out on Apple and Spotify. If you want to become a member, please, on the audio, for the audio exclusive content, and to support the podcast, please become a Buzzsprout subscriber or become a YouTube member. Those are the two ways to get the exclusive content of the Flow Show No Filter. So you could either become a YouTube member, or you can become a Buzzsprout subscriber. Thank you, y'all. We got to figure this shit out. Yeah, what's up with the life insurance? That's where I'm at with it, Tracy. Let's get the Amos in the chat. Where's the insurance money at?
Swine.
it's the Flow Show. No filter. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in. Yeah, it's the Flow Show. No filter. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in. Yeah, it's the Flow Show. No filter. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in. Yeah, it's the Flow Show. No filter. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. It's the Flow Show, baby. Giving you these thoughts, views, and opinions, making sure backsides covered, no diddy. Shout out to the Wake and Bakers and the Coffee Crew. From YouTube to Spotify, I love all my subscribers. Can't forget about the trolls in the comments. Thank you for putting extra eyes on the content. Yeah, it's the Flow Show. No filter. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in. Yeah, it's the Flow Show. No filter. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in. Yeah, it's the Flow Show. No filter. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in. Yeah, it's the Flow Show. No filter. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in.
Thank you. If you want to support the show, somebody asked what was Buzzsprout. Please go to Buzzsprout and become a Buzzsprout member, subscriber. I just put the link in the chat, as you can see it right here on the screen. That helps support the podcast and keep the lights on. Please become a Buzzsprout member, subscriber. And as always, I love y'all. But I'm out.